Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of NC-17. And the man that is with us today needs no introduction. I'm going to do my best, but we got the Mothershucker himself, Carl Vinson. How you doing?
Doing good, brother. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you though. Every time I talk to you or even mention you, the one line from Mothershucker keeps running in my head.
Kind of hillbilly Barbie doll bullshit is this?
Exactly. Uh, so how are things? I know you guys been doing the convention scene with your new movie Twisted Gables.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We did Atlanta 2 weeks ago. We just did Evansville this past weekend. Had some pretty good reviews on the movie. We've actually sold a few copies. I think we probably got 25 copies of Twisted Gables sold, and Mothershucker's selling pretty steady. And it was phenomenal that the Evansville Horror Con, big shout out to them. They actually showed our movie at their film festival. So
Okay.
that was awesome. We couldn't believe that. We were thankful for that. But everything's moving along pretty good. We're staying busy, getting ready to start on a. I'll go ahead and leak a little bit. You can rest assured that Mother Shucker 2, the sequel, is being worked on right now.
All right. I can't wait. Uh, I'm a big fan of Mother Shucker. I think we all know this. It's in my Hall of Fame. uh, so with Twisted Gables, it's a little bit. Well, before we get into it, give a little bit of a backstory about who you are as a person, how you grew up, and like what drove you to love horror.
My dad in I was 6, and we watched a movie together called The Great Vampire Killers, and it's an older movie back in the 60s, I think, 60s, early 70s. And it was these two vampire killers running around in like the frozen tundra of Russia, I believe, killing vampires. And I'm 6. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then my dad's like, oh, it's those are vampires. And that was my first memory of watching horror. Then after that, it was on. We've had I'll never forget, to live 100. We had WDXR channel 29 in Paducah. Every Saturday night was Creature Feature from 8 p.m. till midnight. So my mom and dad let me just sit glued to the TV for 4 hours every Saturday night watching, all the bad living tree movies and all that stuff. And then it just grew from there. And when I saw the original Halloween '78, that was it. It was all it just absolutely blew me away.
Oh yeah. So fast forward all the way to Mother Shucker. You guys, very very loose little script, uh,
Yeah, little
and
7-page idea.
I mean, the way you guys came up with the concept was just over dinner. You were like, "Hey, this is what we could do. We could base it off this mask." All that came together, and being your first film, you guys did a phenomenal job.
Oh, appreciate that, man. We appreciate that.
So with Twisted Gables, again, I've said it in every interview with everybody from Horrorland Media. I have not seen it yet, but just the trailer looks. This movie looks so much darker than Mother Shucker.
Very, very, very much so. Yeah, I tell everybody, um, if you watch Mother Shucker, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna have some good memories. You're gonna see some good kills. It's fun. Twisted Gables is not fun. It's uh, it's a very dark take on. I mean, we've heard a lot of people call it a lot of things. I've heard vengeance, I've heard revenge, I've heard payback, I've heard different things, and it's basically about a family standing up for itself. That's what I tell everybody. It's a family believing in themselves, standing up for themselves.
Uh, uh, so you play a very integral part in Mother Shucker because you played the main villain, which you are an award-winning main villain.
Yes, yes, I am.
uh, Little tidbit there, sorry. But you played kind of like the I think again, I only saw you once in a trailer, but I saw the trailer like 20 times, more than that. I'm just, you know. Uh, but it seems like you kind of took a step back a little bit, just from what I've gathered from talking to people. But it also seems like your character has a very pivotal part throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm Jenny. You interviewed. I play her husband,
Okay.
so I am, Farmer Gable, so to speak. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's a way vastly different role from Mothershucker, intentionally so. I think you'll see though. I'm not going to give anything away, but I mean, everybody knows who I am. I'm going to have fun. I don't care. You can set me on fire. I'm going to have fun. And there's still little quips and comments and stuff, but it's very much a darker, more serious role. I can appreciate the way Justin wrote the movie
Yeah.
down to the last little sentence. It was when I read it, when I read the script, I was like, knowing in my head I'm never going to stay on script. That's just not how I just you give me an idea and I'll run with it. But I knew I had to stay serious. I knew it had to be poignant. It had to be delivered correctly, and that was it's only the second time I've ever acted. So, it was my first time really doing a serious thing, and it was a lot of fun. I think the thing that makes it easy is just Justin and Lee. I mean, it is what it is. They build a comfort zone, a safe zone, so to speak, for all of us. So we're free to be ourselves and follow their direction, and it's an incredible environment to work in.
Oh, yeah. Now I've had the honor and the privilege of interviewing pretty much the entire cast. There are specific people I kind of wanted to set up for later because just of the roles that they played in the movie from what I've seen. Uh, what would you say? Who would you say has the most pivotal role in the whole movie without giving away parts of the movie?
Oh, let's see. Jenny's huge. She is pretty much to me, and other people may think otherwise. To me, she's the core. This is what is going to revolve around,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think people will be very surprised, very very surprised.
Oh, yeah. Uh, now I was lucky enough to have you guys, you Justin, Lee, Eric, on a couple times,
Yeah,
but this time it seems more like because the movie's more serious. It seems like there's more of a darker tone to everything. And are you guys playing up to the movie just the way it is?
I think it to be honest with you, um, I don't know how to say this without it just sounding corny. It affected people different because I'll be honest with you, it was really there's no good way to put it. It was a really bleak film session there because it was cold as shit. I mean, we were expecting 45 degrees and it was 20 freaking degrees. And we got people out there in shorts. Dan had on freaking shorts. Lex, his big badass self, never even put a coat on. And, I'm running back and forth trying to help Justin film. I'm trying to make sure generators are staying full. My big thing was I wanted to keep everybody laughing and happy so they didn't pay attention to how miserable they were. And you could feel that. It was, I can't explain. Nobody got down. There was never any complaining. Everybody's just rock stars. But you could feel it. I mean, it was a completely different feel to everything. And without giving anything away, Dan stayed in character from the minute we walked in till we broke up at 1 o'clock the next morning.
Dang.
And when I say that, when you watch the movie, you pay close attention to Dan's character in the barn, and you'll see that Dan can act his ass off. Bottom line.
Bottom line. So I've talked to, like I said, quite a few people of the cast, and everyone had their own interpretation, but they all had one word: brutality.
Yes.
So when I'm talking to Lex, who I still don't want to meet in a dark alley, I'm a big guy, but no.
Oh, he's so much. He's a good dude. He's just the best dude. So I'm like half his size, and I'm constantly like, I'm not scared of you. Fight me. Come on, I'm not scared.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna kill you one of these days. And he is just. I tell everybody, if you meet that man, even if you didn't know him, and you're like, brother, I need help, that quick. It's just you can feel that coming off of him. You can just feel that he's got a heart for people. And then to watch what he did in this movie, I wish I could say some things, but once you see it, I can't wait for you to see it. Other people will be, I'm glad, but I want you to, that's why we had to get it to you. I want you to see it so bad because it's brutality is an appropriate word. And if I had to say I was proud of something, it would be that once again, it's all practical effects. There's
Yes.
no CGI anything. Anything you see is real. It's something we built, something we worked on, something we hope we perfected. And I had more fun doing the effects than I did acting. And the idea when I saw the end result of some of the things that we put together, and it was, you don't want to say it was so hard, but it was really difficult because it got so cold. This is a it got so cold we had to change the whole scene because the freaking blood froze. You couldn't push. I was like, what the hell how did that happen? And how do we remedy this? And it was comical at the time. And then to go back and watch it, and me and Lee were sitting there. She did a lot of the makeup with me. We sat and watched that and critiqued it to death. And still, even though we did it at the end of the day, when we walked away, I'm like, that is as real as we could possibly make that look. And I thought, hopefully people appreciate that the most. That's my big take from it. I hope people can appreciate the brutality, and I hope they can appreciate that is practical effects. That's not CGI. Everything you see in there is legit, hand done, and it's brutal. There's parts in it that are brutal, just unsettling.
Oh, yeah. Uh, let's talk about some of the cast a little bit. Let's start with Cassie.
Yeah,
I've said it in every interview I've done with anybody from Horrorland. I do not want to be the recipient of that smack.
no, no, sir. When and I'll be honest with you, we're terrible people. I'll have to admit, we're all horrible people. We wanted her to slap shit out of Dan. Because Dan said, let me have it, don't hold it back. And when she hit him and said, just the look on her face, like, oh God, it was perfect. I was like, there you go. And there's not a person in the movie or on the crew that did not have their cell phone out filming that. We all did. And it was, when you go back and look at it, there's no question. You're like, damn, that's real.
Oh yeah.
That's real.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Sam for a minute. This is his first acting gig.
Yeah.
Uh, I've actually spoken to him, and he said he at first, just like during that first table read, walking up, he was kind of nervous, and then when he met you guys were so welcoming and everything like that. During the filming of the movie, did he do anything that kind of like, okay, this is what was supposed to happen, but he delivered more than what he was supposed to?
Every time. Honest to God. We looked at Sam. Um, whatever you asked for him, he gave you every single thing he had and gave you what you asked for. And he was so good to work with. He was so kind of calming. He didn't get real amped up or worked up about stuff. You just tell him, here's what we need you to do. okay, you got it. Boom, and just delivered it on time. First acting gig ever, and really proud of him, all of them. But he really his chemistry with Dan, really good.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about another cast member who, from a taken, is only in it briefly. But let's talk about Devin.
Yeah, he makes all these guys make me laugh. They're when you see the professional wrestlers, if they're in a scene together or in a room together, they've all known each other 20 years. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, there's things said and done that I'll tell you this: you'll see them on the blooper reel, guaranteed. Some of the things that were said, that he made me laugh so hard. But when it came time to film, the part he played nailed it.
Oh, yeah.
It's I don't know if we just don't know what we're doing or if we're just that lucky, but we've been so fortunate that the actors it's required next to no reshoots on anything. We just want it to be the first take every time that if we can, just for the raw energy of it. And he was perfect for that role.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah. I after meeting her this past weekend, let's talk about Grace.
Yeah.
So from what I gather, she was a surprise cast member.
Yeah, absolutely. She was a dear friend of mine that I love to death. Liz was going to play that part. Liz woke up at 5:30 Saturday morning with 103 fever, sick as crap. She was like, I'm willing to come do it. And we were like, no, if you've got COVID, I don't want to give 22 people COVID and they're missing work. And so we told her, stay home, we'll figure it out. So we're talking to Jenny. I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do, how we're going to pull this off. And then she's like, well, I mean, my daughter. And I was like, well, we got an hour. Do you think, literally 1 hour with a script, and Grace killed it.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't an insignificant role.
Yeah, I mean, it was, from what I take, she plays a character that is with the, I don't want to say bad family, but the Dan's family.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with filming of Mothershucker and this kind of relatively close, but not too close together, was there any moment where you were like, okay, we may not be able to get this the way we want it because you're still pushing Mothershucker?
When we first started, we knew that we had a finite amount of time that we would be able to keep everybody together, because basically scheduling was a bitch, because all the wrestlers are wrestling every weekend. To get that many people, that many moving parts together, we were scared to death of. But when we started filming, as much as it would hurt to admit it, we just stopped Mothershucker altogether. We're like, it'll have to wait. We just did Scarefest in October. It's gonna have to ride till we're done with this. And we just put down everything, personal lives, schedules, and just put everything into this all at once. We're very fortunate that we were able to keep that cast together as long as we were. And then me and Lee and Justin spent, God, I don't know how many hours editing, working on music, working on files and stuff. And I come up on Wednesdays and weekends. We watch the movie, we fix the trailers, we do all the things. And it was, we couldn't even really look back on Mothershucker and say, hey, we can draw Mothershucker for this camera light or this angle or whatever, because it was so dissimilar. Because a lot of this was filmed at night in the dark, and with lighting. So that was a challenge we never had, that we didn't have in Mothershucker. And it was good because we knew some certain things about the cameras, that kind of thing. But it was kind of nice, if you want to know the truth, to be able to put Mothershucker down for a little bit and say, let's focus on what we're doing here, and not be so pressure filled to get that movie sold or whatever. And it worked out to our benefit, I think.
Oh yeah. Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment and wish Eric to get healthy soon.
Yes, that brother is sick. Man, he's had a rough ride. He had horrible kidney stones 2 years in a row at Scarefest. So October the last 2 years. Then if the poor guy gets home, he's got to have surgery, get the stones removed. Then he gets freaking COVID. And I'm like, now he's got norovirus. Man, I love that brother to death. We've been friends for almost 25 years. And he just can't get past it. It is beating him to death.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it's time for him to get a break.
Oh, yeah. Well, we at NC-17 wish him a speedy recovery and hope to get him on the show again, maybe with everybody. Yeah. I'd like to take a moment and get your thoughts on what you would say to Justin and Lee that you haven't said already.
Love them to death, man. They, there's not whiny, but man, I've been through a bunch since 2016. Since 16, I've lost my wife, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, two best friends committed suicide. I've not been in a good place for a long, long time. And I met them completely on accident, buying merchandise from them at conventions. We come up with this idea. This is probably the happiest I've been in 10 years. It has been absolutely the most positive thing that I've done in years. I think that's why I'm so passionate about it, is this really got me out of a very dark place, a very bad place, into a position around people that I truly, truly, truly enjoy being around. I love them to death. We were in Evansville together over the weekend and had a blast. They call and check on me, then heard from you in a day or two. That kind of stuff. I mean, it's true family friendship things. And just tell them thank you so much for involving me in these things and making my life a better place for me to be. Right. And I don't think they realize that enough. And I know they sure as hell don't get enough credit for it, but they are.
So individually, they both tackle different parts of the film industry. Justin writes, directs, Lee writes, does makeup, produces. Would you say that as a married couple doing this together, that they mesh it all well together while still having a family life?
Yeah, they do. They do. I don't know how they do it, but they do. They've got children. Lee's got 3 girls, which I love to death. They're good kids, man, and they work so well together that, I mean, I can't tell you, Lee spent countless hours sitting on the couch helping him edit this movie, watching reruns and recuts, and I mean, the two of them work so well together that it's unreal. It's like what one doesn't do, the other one does. Lee's really, really good at keeping us focused. She's good at keeping us on track. Justin's really good at being real clear and concise about what he wants without being, pushy or an ass about it. He's like, here's what I want you to do. And he's good at getting that. The big thing with both the camera work, I don't care what anybody says. I've said it 1,000 times. If I did 1,000 more movies, he's going to be the guy for every one of those movies. I think his camera work's gotten to the point where it's perfect for us. And they fill each other's gaps in so well. And to see them work together is, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a handful. I mean, that's the bottom line. And Lee's able to put that horse in the barn every time. So, and then on top of that, you end up with me and Ty in the same room together, and all we want to do is fight. It's just, we can just look at each other and we start getting this grin because we know, the fight in Mothershucker, it was like, Ty's like, all right, I'm going to kick you. I'm like, I'm going to whip your ass. And that's where we look. We can't even look at each other and be serious. We're just like, I'm going to drop you like a bad habit. He's able to rein that in, and truly, she is truly, truly, truly the organizational calming spirit for everything we do. She's the one that's, and she's able to do it and just direct you gently. She's not hitting you with a stick, not that kind of thing. And then Justin is just boom, on point every single time. These are the three things that we're going to film back to back to back. We need to get these three done and move on. And he's it's great. I can't explain. It's so pressure free. You're not being coerced or pushed or beat on. It's amazing to watch.
Oh, yeah. So meeting you guys was kind of like on a whim on my behalf, because I was just scrolling through Facebook and I saw a message. I think it was from Justin that said, "Hey, if anyone wants to review our movie, just send us a message and or contact Justin." I was like, I saw the cover. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I did not know the ramifications would be so positive just reviewing that one movie. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be sad. I'm over 100 times watching it.
Oh my god,
That's not a lie. I have about 60 people who will vouch for it.
that's freaking great, because I mean, I love that. I can't tell you how many of my friends that I've shown it to, and I like to watch it with them just so I can get their response from it. Because if you see them in the room, you're gonna get a true response, and you can tell somebody's like, "God, this sucks," or 99% of the people have been like, "I can't believe you idiots did this." It's just the idea that means the world to me. There's nothing, and I've been a nurse 38 years. There's nothing I like better than making people laugh. I learned that early on as a nurse. Man, if you can make somebody laugh, no matter what kind of shit they're going through, for those couple of minutes that they're laughing or cackling, you know what you did? You took away their burden.
Oh yeah.
You took away their pain. And that's my whole life has been about that. I'm like, if I can make you laugh, I get your mind off whatever, you know what? That's what I do. That's what I want to do. I can't do shit for you, but I can do that. To see people laugh and enjoy it, and just then that's the best thing ever.
Oh, yeah. We got about 8 minutes left. I have given every single guest the opportunity, and I'm not going to stop now. If there are people out there who are trying to get into the industry, whether it be directing, writing, acting, doing music, what advice would you give them?
Absolutely do it. Take a chance. Take a chance on yourself. Even if it doesn't work out, I don't care if you're filming it with a cell phone and you're using a kazoo for the soundtrack. Doesn't matter. If you want to do it, do it. And if you're passionate about it, something's going to come out of it. Just if you believe you want to do it, absolutely take a chance. If it's acting in somebody else's movie, take that chance. If it's hanging lights or running wires and cables or standing behind the camera, do it. Never, because we said this going in, no matter whatever happened, if Mothershucker was the only movie we ever made, nobody can ever take away the fact that the 8 of us made that damn movie.
Oh yeah. I want to take a moment and appreciate you as a human, because as a person, because you play crazy Mothershucker, but deep down, the people who know you know that you have a nurturing, kind heart, and just knowing you here, we've never met each other in person. I mean, we've talked a couple times, but I can just tell by the way you are, how you compose yourself and everything, that you'd give the shirt off your back to anybody who needed it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So my hat's off to you for being an awesome person, but
thank you.
my hat's back on because I don't need to get stabbed with a corn cob. I'll leave that to Ty. But on a serious note, though, you are an awesome person, and my life is blessed by knowing you. So
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. I do. I appreciate that.
you
It
know,
means the world to me. It does.
oh
Just
yeah,
the idea that we're in a position where somebody cared about this movie, it's amazing.
oh yeah. I don't know if Justin and Lee told you, or if you've seen the episode that I did, the interview I did. I have rented out a theater later this year, and we will be showing Mothershucker.
Yeah, we've talked. We got to find a way to get up there. Period. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. We had worked out the logistics, but that's going to happen somehow. I'm like, we got to go up there. If they're going to show the movie, we got to get up there. We got to take the suit. I'll run around that damn movie theater on fire with it. I don't care. I mean, I
Well,
love
corn
that.
pops. You might not want to run around on fire.
True story. It'd be Mothershucker has popped his last pop.
But I will get you guys all the details because I'm still ironing out some things. But it's definitely going to happen. It'll probably be toward the
Great.
ending of summer. So,
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, that's even better.
yeah. But
yeah, that'd be a blast. That would be a blast.
Oh yeah, and I know that I say it to everybody. NC-17, you know you have a home here. This is what, your fourth time on?
Oh yeah. And can't thank you enough, man.
Hey, it's my honor and my privilege. Trust me. I mean, movie's awesome. You guys are just as awesome as the movie. It's your movie, so it's minus what I just said, but whatever. But no, I seriously, I appreciate the art you guys put out. I appreciate the camaraderie you guys have together, and the cohesiveness you guys share makes the world a better place.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's incredible. Thank you so much. That is very nice.
And this just in a little while ago, well, a couple of days ago, weeks ago, the final people for Twisted Gables that will be on the show are going to be Justin and Lee. And we are going to break down what we could break down without spoiling anything. But that's to be continued whenever I can we can come up with a schedule together. But this episode's been you, Carl Cobb. That's what I'm going to call you.
I appreciate your time, brother, and thank you for the support.
Oh yeah, no problem. Hey, thank you for an awesome movie.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I hope you like Gables just as much.
I have a feeling I will, but I also have a feeling I'm probably going to like it mostly for the brutality. That's the only word I can come up with because that's the word everyone says.
Yeah. Sam said, he looked at me. He's just, we did a shot and went through this scene, and he turned around and he went, shit. And I said, what? He said, that looked and felt so real. And I said, that's all I wanted to hear. Game on. That's it. Win right there.
Oh yeah. Hey, my last name's Win. So
there
I like that. Nah, Carl, it's been an honor. It's always fun catching up with you, and it's never a letdown. You always bring laughs and sincerity. I appreciate you. And keep on shucking, my brother.
You got it, brother. I'm gonna shuck it to death.
There you go. All right. Go ahead and say the line. You know what line I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, you got it. I will be back on, even if it's to tell you got a booger in your nose.
There you go. All right, everybody. Until next time, stay NC-17.
That's it.